Hey everybody, welcome in to this second episode of the Could Be Better podcast. We're taping this on a Saturday morning and we've been up for 6 hours trying to figure out the finer nuances of GarageBand.
But we did it.
My name is Colin McGuire, your co-host with the fabulous Chris Perry. How are you, Chris?
I'm great. Today is a good day to be alive. And just, I think it's probably a nice time to say today is actually the first episode we can say we are one of our sponsors is Old Mother Brewing from right here in town. They're one of our favorite local breweries. They have new beer on tap all year round. So thank you. Today we get to talk to Sam. Sam, how do you say your last name?
Smizek.
Slower, please.
Smizek.
That's good. Sam he's probably the boy genius, the thought behind Blisshouse, right? Is that kind of your thing?
Yeah, for sure.
And then also you played in some other bands, and so we get to kind of talk with you about that, which is gonna be cool.
Yeah, man.
So Blisshouse, you were in Seattle, now you're here.
I was there for. I moved out at the end of 2019. Like 6 months before COVID.
Okay.
Jacob, the drummer in Blisshouse, he was already out there for like a year. And I just thought it made sense to go out there and do my thing out there with him. And so, he and I and our girlfriends got a house, and like Jacob and I like built a studio, and we had like a rehearsal space, and we were just trying to do it out there. And then COVID happened, so then we couldn't play any shows. But we were like having a hard time like finding shows. Well, not finding shows, but every time I'd hit up like a
promoter or whatever, they
promoter
be
venue.
Local.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was kind of like they're kind of a little standoffish, but I finally found a show that someone wanted to have us on, and can we curse? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, man.
This isn't a Christian podcast.
Not a Christian.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Unless sponsored First Baptist Church.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. No, but yeah, I hit up this one venue guy, I guess, and he was down to have us on a show, and it was like March 20th was the show, and then like the 21st, I remember like in particular, that's when my job at the time, and things just started changing, and then the promoter hit me up like a week later and was just like, hey, that show isn't going to happen. I was like, oh, man.
What was your one chance?
So, yeah, and then we just like spent the rest of my time there just like writing and being locked in the house. It was great.
So you're here. Is Jacob here, or is he still in Seattle?
He's still in Seattle. Yeah, he's still in Seattle. And I think he's going to be there for at least another year. I don't know what his plan is yet, but
cool.
Yeah, man.
So we booked you guys December. It was like Tuesday night.
I think it was the 14th.
Yeah. It was a cool show.
It was a good show.
There's two bands on tour who were awesome. It was Late Waves and Polyana. Both were awesome. Both from New Jersey. So shout out to them. They were freaking great.
There was another band on. Who was the other band on?
Oh, Kite Wave.
Yeah. Another wave band.
Yes. Frederick Legends.
So they were all rad too. All the bands were.
Yeah, and it was packed.
Great.
It was a cool time.
For Tuesday night, like I didn't expect. I don't think anyone, like all of us in the band at least, we were all like stoked for the show. But we were like, let's just like I have no idea if people are gonna come out, but it'll be fun. And then it was funny because I remember, and I think I said this to you after like we started the show, and I remember looking up and being like, all right, let's do it. And like within like a minute, like not even before the end of the first song, I look up and there's like a lot more people than when I first looked up. Like it was just like my aunt and uncle when I first looked up, and then like after that I was like, oh, sick, people are here.
Yeah. And that was the first Blisshouse show, right?
No, so the first Blisshouse show was actually at Cafe Nola in 2019.
Same lineup?
Just me and Jacob.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just me and Jacob. He was in Seattle, living in Seattle at that time, so he flew back for it. And it was a great show, man. We like sold it out. We did it with my friend Micah and Lean Tea. I don't know if you know Taylor. Yeah, he's from here. Yeah, so he was on the show too. It was rad. And then shortly after that, 3 months after that, I moved out to Seattle, and we played one show in Seattle, but it was actually rad. It was like this house party, like outdoor house party, and this dude Neil. It was called. God, he's gonna hate me for forgetting the name of it. I feel so bad. It's been a while. Polypalooza or something like that. It was rad. That was like, he had like this sick setup, and he had like this outdoor setup on top of his shed that all the bands played on. It was kind of freaky because you were like 10 feet above the ground, but he also had like this old like hippie bus too that he would have bands play on too. But it was
on top
rad.
of the bus or in
yeah,
the bus?
on top of the bus. Like, yeah, I guess something with him and bands playing on top of structures he's like really into. It was rad though, dude. There's like 250 people there. It was like in this backyard, and it was he was actually neighbors with that's how we got the show. He was neighbors with this friend of mine I worked with at this restaurant, and it was just rad, dude. They like knocked the fence down between their two houses, and so it's like on one side we had like my friend Andrew's house and like his fraternity people and like all these college kids, and then on the other side it was this dude Neil's like whole squad. So it was like a bunch of like old hippie people. It was great. It was such a cool, and everyone's just down to party. They had like a bar set up. That was our one show in Seattle, but it was a good one.
Yeah. And then you came back, and then I think your first show back here was, if it wasn't our show, it was at the Rock School then, right?
Yeah. So we played at the Rock School. That was like right when I came back in October, and that was awesome. We played with like a bunch of Frederick bands. Yeah, and then actually that same night we kind of got like a last minute offer to play at NOLA, and so we just went ahead and did it. And we just like didn't tell anyone. We just went down there and played, and there were some people there. It was like the late night bar squad, just out drunk, but they were into it, so it was cool. And then 14th we played at Old Mother.
What drew you to Seattle? Why not Omaha, Nebraska?
Man, I
Cleveland,
thought about
Ohio?
Omaha for years,
Yeah,
and
man.
ultimately, no, Jacob was already out in Seattle, and my girlfriend at the time and I went out there and visited Jacob and his girlfriend, and we just loved the city, and it just made sense that Jacob and I, since we were doing Blisshouse now, that kind of made sense to go out there and just, do it in a new place. So, yeah.
You said that he's still out there?
Yeah, he's still out there.
So then are you guys collaborating currently, back and forth, sending tracks?
A little bit. Recently, like, I've really just been writing a lot of stuff in my room, and I've kind of been, like, writing stuff that might be Blisshouse, like it might be something else that I'm working on. I've kind of just been, like, going down a experimentation, I guess, era at the moment.
There you go, the experimentation era. We're very much in that at the Could Be Better podcast.
That's what it's all about, man.
It's a good marriage. I think it's probably a good time to take our first break and listen to a song from you, because I sent one over earlier today, or at least Chris did.
Yeah.
Can you set up this song that I had a chance to listen to it earlier this morning? It's really, really good. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah. It's called I Don't Give a Fuck, and it is pretty much about that. I mean, the concept of it is just like kind of self-destruction and going down, like, just getting fed up with a lot of the shit that, you try to battle all the time, and everyone has their own version of that, and like finally being like, fuck it, I'm just gonna self-destruct. That's the only concept I like kept thinking about. And so yeah, man, it's just like, it started out as like kind of like an indie like riff, and then it just wasn't hitting the way I wanted it to, and so I switched the chords around a little bit, and once that changed, then it all started to make sense. It took like a month or so to write too. That one and Sick both like took a while, but once it all came together, I knew I knew it was exactly what I wanted it to be, and people seem to really like that one. So,
well, 1 month is at least 6 months sooner than it took us to figure out how to use GarageBand, so we appreciate you coming by. Here's a song. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit about some other projects you've done.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I think I'm all alone in this stupid life. Nobody hesitates to waste my time. And I know something's wrong, but I feel just fine. Oh yeah. Yeah, right. Woke up late, got way too high. I think I'm back in love, but she just lies. Need some more cocaine just to ease my mind. Oh yeah. But hey, wait up. When did I say that I was any more than a lame fuck up? And I might be way too far. I say that wait, fuck. I never felt this before. Like I just don't care anymore. I can't believe anyone ever knows. All alone in this stupid life, nobody hesitates to waste my time. And I know something's wrong, but I feel just fine, oh yeah.
Oh my God, that was a hell of a song. We actually listened to this song live
10 times.
10 times, and then GarageBand crashed. And by God, if this thing crashes before we're done recording, what would you say about Self-Destructing? Because that's going to be the end of the Could Be Better podcast. I wanted to get into, you were in a band called More To Monroe here in Frederick. I was familiar with that because there was a show that I organized in the parking lot of the old Frederick News Post building that you guys headlined.
Oh,
if you remember
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think
That's
we
right
did-
over here.
Yeah,
Or
we-
I guess behind us.
We did like a skate day, I think. Everybody brought their skateboards and did
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
and,
that was fun, man.
And you guys were signed, were you
Mhm.
not?
Yep.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. How was that experience, A, and B,
Mm-hmm.
for anybody listening in Frederick and you want to get signed to a record label, how do you do it? You did it. You could tell everybody you got the tools.
Yeah, I guess. It was crazy because we were 17 and 18, so it was like we had started the band I think when we were all like 14 or 15, so we had been together for a few years.
Same lineup.
Same lineup, yeah. I mean, we had a couple different bass players at first, like trying to figure it out, but then we got Johnny, and he just like, it just made sense to do with him. We all got along really well. Well, not at first, but eventually we all got along really well. And yeah, so I mean, we just we practiced and played as much as we could, and a good friend of ours who ended up being our manager, Scott Marceron, who has like the Let There Be Rock schools and stuff. It was just Frederick and I think maybe like Philly and New York at the time. I don't even know. I'm not even gonna say because I don't even know. But anyway, yeah, Scott became our manager, and he had been in the record business for a decade at least at that point, and he had just I guess made a lot of connections with people. And so, you know, at first we were like, dude, you want to be our manager? And like, our songs sucked, dude. Our songs are like, they were so bad. It's like super butt rock at first.
Yes.
Like MTM, like
Yes.
we used to be called Blackout before that, and we were just like the worst. Like,
Yeah.
literally like the worst butt rock band. So, and those are the songs we first played Scott, but then we just kept writing, and finally like Scott was down to really, back us. And so once we had some songs that we were really proud of, we showed it to him. We played shows nonstop, like I said, and eventually like we were just able to, I guess, catch the attention of a couple different people. We played for a couple different labels, but Roadrunner was the one we eventually ended up signing to.
10 out of 10 would recommend, or
I mean, the experience, yeah, for sure. The label, what they did pretty much exactly what they were supposed to do.
Sure.
We were young, and we were trying to figure out, like, all of us were kind of going through, I guess, different things at the time that maybe like took our mind off the band, I guess, in certain ways, as a way to say it.
I mean, you're growing up. I mean,
Exactly.
You're 17, 18. Like those
Yeah.
are. I mean, I'm a significantly different individual
Yeah.
than I was at 17, 18, and to kind of have that responsibility of, hey, I'm in a band. I'm technically an employee of this record company.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure for someone that's not even, able to buy a bottle of
Yeah.
whiskey, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and looking back, it's interesting too, because we were always a band that, like, I think some bands really hone in on a certain sound, and like we never really honed in on a specific sound. I'd say we were into so many different things that, like, this song might sound like Every Time I Die, or this song might sound like Under Oath, but this next song like might sound, I don't know, like proggy and alternative. Like, I don't know. Like, we were just down with whatever. And so looking back, something that I realized is I think when we got signed, the label had a certain idea of what kind of band they wanted us to be based on songs like FU or Jack or something like that. You know, kind of these more aggressive, like really riffy. And, you know, I don't think any of us really put that together at the time, or maybe we did and we were refusing to like be, you know, put in a box. But I think that's something that over time, definitely I remember kind of being a thing. We would write these songs, like we'd go in a studio and write these songs, and they would, you know, I remember one time in particular we recorded like 3 songs, and they were definitely more on just like the kind of rock alternative emo side. And I remember we were happy with them, but the label like really, really wasn't. And so I guess over time, the one thing I learned is that like sometimes if you aren't like if you don't have a fully fledged like concept out of what you're trying to do, you can kind of get yourself in a hole with someone that you're getting involved with if they think they're getting something specific out of you, but you have other ideas and that's not really communicated. So again, I think we were just young and just trying to, you know, we were just like there for the moment, just having fun. We never thought about stuff like that.
But that's awesome, though, and it's also, you know, it's tough. You know, again, you're growing up, you're figuring out who you are, and now all of a sudden you're kind of being put into this. Hey, we think you're this.
Exactly.
And so now you kind of lose that chance to express that. So, so back to Colin's point of, okay, so you've done the signed band thing, so now you can tell everybody how to do it. So the formula is find people that you can tolerate, write songs, join the rock school, and then find a burly bearded man to send your shit off places.
You need a burly bearded man.
Yes.
Men.
Yeah.
Why did I say it like that?
It could be both. It could be you know, more than one.
No, but nowadays it's a different ball game though, man. And you know, being back to just an independent artist with, you know, doing Blisshouse, it's like that's something that I've definitely kind of had to relearn. It's a different world nowadays. You can still go out there and play as many shows as your heart desires, but that's not necessarily the blueprint for what's going to do it anymore. You know what I mean? I think it still is very important. Like live shows are really important, but nowadays it's like you see so many people just like blow up off one song on the internet, or not just one song, but blow up off an online presence, you know?
And it's not the same way that it used to be. And even, you know, it's like Colin and I both played in bands where it's like we've played a lot of shows. And it's like neither of us had a huge record deal, at least one that I've disclosed to Colin and one that Colin's disclosed to me. So, you know, like at that point, you know, the way that it's been done for some bands isn't the way that it's not a boilerplate, not a template. And you kind of have to find your own path. And I think that's what's cool is like with you guys, like you got to go down this one path and now you're doing something different.
Yeah.
So we're going to see if we can dig up a More To Monroe song, but if we can't, there's going to be awkward silence. And it'll be cool.
We're gonna get a More To Monroe song. God damn it! We've done everything so far to make this a success. So, if you were going to point one out that you wanted us to put in this episode, what would it be? What was one of your favorites?
I think collectively our favorite song was 500 Days. That was definitely like over. I think even when we talk about it now, we still talk about that song. So
do you guys talk a lot?
Yeah, actually, I mean, Jake and I obviously like we live together, and you know, so he and I have never really stopped talking. Chris went off to school, and so we were kind of like we didn't really like talk for a while.
Didn't he go become like a brain scientist or something?
Astrophysics? Maybe.
Yeah,
I hope that's right.
Like that. Didn't he put Elon Musk on the moon?
Yeah, I think he had something to do with that.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos too.
Yeah, well, that's right. So 500 Days will be the song.
Yes.
And if I will not take no for an answer, we will get it in there somewhere. I'll record it with my phone, and we'll just get a shitty little version. But here's the song. We'll be right back.
He stood simply perched on the shoreline, facing the rippling moonlight, bleaching the pitch black Atlantic. said again, well, it's art. Now and then, from his pocket, paper and pen.
That was a hell of a song. It was aggressive. If I remember, that band was an aggressive band. It was very filled with piss and vinegar and
That's
testosterone.
right. We're also emotional. We're
Yeah.
emotional and aggressive.
You're way into the butt rock.
Full on angst. Yeah.
Way
That
into-
song's so butt rock.
So I want to talk a little bit now. We're going to get to one final song as we wrap things up, but I wanted to ask a little bit. My favorite question as we go and do these podcasts, because this will probably be the first and last ever episode, but if we end up doing another one, I'm interested to know what people are into now. And you are significantly younger than I am. For those listening, I'm 65 years old, and this young...
You look
Yes,
great, man.
Yes, and this young man appears to be 15. So what new music are you into now?
Everything, man. I listen to everything, but I don't know. I mean, I know that answer sucks, but I feel like back in the day I used to listen to a lot of like,
Do you know who Everything is?
is that a band?
Yeah.
No.
Do you?
No.
Maybe I'm
Shit.
definitely showing my age. You won't know this, I would assume.
Did I just make you
might.
really excited because you thought I listened to this?
No,
today?
I
Oh,
knew you
okay.
didn't. I knew you. Do you remember Who Got the Hooch? That song? It was a big pop song in the 90s.
Are we legally allowed to hum a bar?
We're
I don't
legally
remember.
allowed to do anything we want.
Yeah, we can do any. Nobody's listening, so we can do anything we want. But look it up. Everything. Hooch was the name of the song.
Nice.
They
okay.
they toured with Dave Matthews Band at one point.
I guess I just gave
So,
them an accidental shout
there
out,
you
so
go.
now I'll have
So,
to.
Everything outside of them.
Really,
dude,
just that band, dude. That's all I listened to.
Wait, what did you listen to on the drive over here?
What did I listen to on the drive over here? I think I was listening to Kanye, actually.
The new one, Donda.
No, not Donda. What album was I listening to? Life of Pablo.
Yeah,
I just put it on shuffle.
sure.
Sometimes I just like going through my albums, you know.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I'm not a big playlist guy. I love playlists, but I just never take the time to put one together.
Yeah,
So I'll just click on a random album and
yeah, that's awesome.
shuffle it up.
What should people listen to that you listen to that you would like to share, or that you think people may not know?
Well, locally, now that I'm back in Frederick, shout out Frederick. Flight Away.
Before we go to there,
What?
I was telling this to Colin earlier. So you said, speaking of Frederick, so at that show
Yeah.
that you played on Tuesday, you started into a song.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how the song was about how you left Frederick and how you
Mhm.
never wanted to come back. And I laughed. And I laughed pretty loud because I thought you were going into a joke. And it turns out that it wasn't a
No,
joke.
I was dead ass
and,
serious.
and you were so serious, and I felt so bad. So this is my verbal apology and my formal
Wait, why?
apology.
Oh, because you laughed?
Because
Oh,
I
didn't
laughed,
even
and-
hear you.
but it was funny because I was
Oh,
like,
man.
oh well, obviously he's now back, and he's talking about when he wrote the song when he left the first time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you come back, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's so funny. But so, because then you went on to talk about how you didn't think you were coming back, and now how
Yeah.
it totally means something different to you.
Mhm.
So it was a really good lead into a song. But man, I felt like a major jerk, and I was like, oh,
Nah, man, don't
Yeah,
be.
no.
I didn't even hear you
No,
laugh.
that's
honestly.
good.
If
That's
I saw
good.
you laugh, I would have laughed too. So don't
you're
even.
like, I'm never doing this podcast.
yeah, right.
Okay, so Flight Away, yeah.
Yeah. Flight Away. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. No, I'm just kidding. No, Flight Away. So it's Chris, the singer of More To Monroe, the homie. His little brother, Connor. That's like his band. And
Little homie.
Lil Homie. Shout out Lil Homie. Yeah, and they're great, man. I mean, it's cool because we played that show at the Rock School with them when I first got back. And just watching them, it reminded me of just the early days of MTM and just like not giving shit and just playing as loud and hard as you can. And yeah, they're great, man. So
What's
check
the
them
name
out.
of the song?
By them?
Yeah.
All
us
of
a song.
them.
All of them. Everything. We are the All Everything podcast. While we figure
No, they
out
put a song out recently. Here, let me look it up.
everybody
real quick.
frantically looks on their phone
Sorry,
to
Connor.
find a Connor. My name's not Connor.
Not.
It's called the song is called Over It.
Yeah.
Over it. And I'm over this podcast. So, okay, the song will be called Over It. Before we get out of here, though, Real quick, can you tell everybody how to find you? If you're on the Bandcamp, on the TikTok, I saw somebody made $1 million farting on TikTok the other day.
Oh man, that'd be great.
On the YouTube, on Spotify. If somebody wants to check out your music, how can they find you?
Yeah, I mean, we're on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, everything. I mean, all the whatever you stream music on, we're on there.
Instagram, anything like that?
Yeah, we're on Instagram. I mean,
What's the handle?
it's just Blisshouse.
Okay.
It's like _Blisshouse.
_Blisshouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, I'm on TikTok. I don't really make videos, but I guess I'm on there.
Do you have any shows coming up?
No, not at the moment. I mean, we
guess
had
need to change that, huh?
cough. No, we had a couple, but the vid is circling back like
The
a
vid.
pack of hyenas.
So we're very responsible sitting in a room passing
That's
back.
right. We have 3 layers of masks on. You can't see.
That's
it, but
true.
Plexiglass between us all.
And
we drank-
nothing else.
Drank whiskey through the
Yeah.
masks.
That's we did, people, and it's 9 a.m. So thanks, dude. Thanks for coming by. If you want
course,
to be
man.
on
Thanks for
again
having
in a
me.
few days,
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. If I can get another Glory Donut, I'm all the way in. Shout out Glory Donuts.
Yeah.
all right. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you
And
guys.
We'll talk soon.
Sick.
overhead and not the
The Could Be Better podcast is produced by Chris Perry and Colin McGuire from the Could Be Better Studios in Frederick, Maryland.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at couldbebettermeh.
You could also email us at couldbebettermeh@gmail.com. And don't be afraid to reach out if you're an artist, a band, anybody looking for a show. We'd love to book you. Also, if you'd happen to want to be a sponsor, we'd like to hear from you too.
Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts or follow us on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Give us a 5-star review if you like what you hear and want to hear more. And also give us a 5-star review if you don't like what you hear and definitely don't want to hear more.
His name is Chris Perry,
His is Colin McGuire.
and we are out of time. For now, this could be better.